A lot of times we don't get along with our co-actors. How do you deal with those situations?
In cinema especially, you don't have any control as such. Your director says, नहीं तो ऐसे ही होगा. Now you're like, ये तो ऐसा है, ये तो हीरो को ऐसे कर रहा है, ये तो ऐसे, whatever is going on in your head, and now you've gone in that zone. Anything that we cannot change, it's very important to accept that. I think magic only happens in being. Magic never happens when we try and do too much.
Communication is very important, and hence when you're on a set, it's not just you and the director, there's also a co-actor. A lot of times we don't get along with our co-actors. For example, there's a scene, okay, being a woman again, you're with a hero, and a man, it's a man's world, unfortunately, and how you have certain lines and then they improvise on set and the director doesn't really say anything because, I mean, he's a hero of them. How do you deal with those situations?
In cinema especially, you don't have any control as such.
Yes.
Unless you're like a very big brand name, then you have a lot of control. But otherwise, if you're not, then you pretty much are as good as your director and your editor and your writers, as in what they are creating with you, and if they're doing justice to what you're doing, if they're choosing the best parts of what you've done. So and a lot of times great directors, good directors make your performance look 5 times better than what you've done. But as an actor, you don't have that much control. And when you don't have that control, I think you should not put your energy in that direction. So that is the best solution. Of course, you can go and talk about it once, and if there's anything that's troubling you or bothering you, you must voice it in the politest way possible, and you must communicate it with the director. But if things are not changing still, you should just accept that.
But
because
if
I
you're
tell you why I'm saying this, because let's just say your director says, नहीं तो ऐसे ही होगा. Now you're like, ये तो ऐसा है, ये तो हीरो को ऐसे कर रहा है, ये तो ऐसे, whatever is going on in your head, and now you've gone in that zone. So what is happening is, जितना अच्छा होना था, उतना भी नहीं हो रहा.
True.
Right. So why put your energy and your mind space into something which is actually coming in the way of you doing well?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's very important that anything that we cannot change, it's very important to accept that. So tomorrow, if you are kind of more powerful, because at the end of the day, power plays a big role.
True.
Power does play a big role in deciding how things will be done. And yet there are a lot of powerful people who are still very, very humble and still, they don't like misuse their power at all. And those are the best kind of people. But it can sometimes be that if there's a more important actor than you on set, then more focus will go on that actor. And and the people involved behind the camera might probably listen to that person more than they listen to you. Right. So accept it, because that's the reality. What happens is a lot of actors become negative. And they very negatively say, I'm going to become powerful. And it is so negative.
One day, I'll show you.
It's so negative that even if you're able to manage it someday, you've lost something.
True.
Something very important, very integral to you, both as a person and also as an artist. So it's important to not lose that.
You're right, if it's not in your control, and I think that's where your breath also comes in, just focus on your breath, let it go.
Just witness it.
It's okay, witness the situation.
What can you do?
It's fine. True.
So accept it, and after that acceptance comes something very beautiful, and who knows, in that very moment the director decides, nahi yaar, iske 2 और shot lo, ye to itna अच्छा कर रही है. Because this is how things happen on set. You suddenly do something and a completely new idea which has gone beyond the script. But if you try कि मैं उसके लिए करूँ तो कभी नहीं होगा. If you try कि let me do something so amazing that I get 3 extra shots, it will never happen. Whereas when you just be honest to what you're meant to do and just be in that moment, that's when the magic happens. Not wanting to create it. I think a lot of magic, magic only happens in being. Magic never happens when we try and do too much. So, it's a lot of times art cannot be quantified. It's not like more effort is better acting. In fact, more effort is bad acting, because it becomes more than what is required. So what you need to do is just be truthful to that moment. And if that means that you just there and not saying a word, but just feeling something very strongly, again in a very being way, Not in a oh देखो मैं कितना feel कर रहा हूँ, देखो मैं कितना feel कर रहा हूँ. Not in that way.
Yeah.
The moment you just be in that moment completely. When I say completely in that moment, that in that particular moment you've forgotten your Ruhi. In that particular moment you're only in the headspace of your character. In that particular moment, what that character, what dramatic situation is happening to her, you're only feeling that in that moment. So when you go and when you hit 100%, that's when magic happens.